So before you went to Queensland, we do know that you studied at FTU. So what brought you to Queensland? How did that look like? And I'm sure a lot of our audience will probably ask us about your English as well, since we do have a number of English learners who follow our show. So yeah, English, FTU to Queensland, how did that happen?
Yeah, so let's just start off with English. So just like you, I started really young, I suppose. I was like 6 years old, and we all been there. Started with like, hello, how are you? I'm fine, thank you, and you? But then like, ever since I came to Australia, I realized it's not that hard. Like, people don't use those fancy academic words in everyday conversations. And then I'm like, okay. Now I realize it's just like how well and often you expose yourself to the language. So the first thing is definitely, it might sound weird, but you can try like talking to yourself. So imagine like you have a best friend inside you and you just talk to that person like about anything, everything. And to have the input, you can try listening to podcasts. Me personally, I love criminology. So I listen to case file, true crime every day. Yeah, and the third thing should be, I don't know, practice makes perfect. So try spending 5 to 10 minutes doing something English related every day. And yeah, stick to that. Some apps I can recommend are Duolingo, Memrise, pretty standard. But yeah. And the next thing about like studying abroad. So it has always been something I dreamed of. So when I was little, my sister was like very determined to study abroad, and I was like fired and inspired.
So before we go into networking, what I'm really curious about is, you know, how you manage to juggle all of that, trying to be a good student, trying to get good grades, and also trying to blend in and be socially adept enough to be confident to speak to all of these people. Yeah, how do you balance academics and the social process of acclimatizing?
Yeah, I really appreciate that question, because I've been there. I used to be a nerd, like who study hours, like spend hours on grammars and vocabularies, on maths, and yeah, all these very fancy stuffs. But to balance out life, it's not just about study. So one thing that I'm really like, I really want to prioritize is hobbies. So I think that hobbies help you balance your work and your personal lives. I just came across this the other day. So there are 5 hobbies that everyone should have. The one that makes you like earn money, the one that makes you fit, the one that makes you calm your mind, and what is it? The one that makes you enjoy. Can't remember. Oh, and the last one is like the one that helps you develop professionally. So yeah, for me personally, I love dancing. So I became a member of a dance group here. And I also sing from time to time. So just keep my mind very refreshed every time off work. And then I came back to work and just smashed it, basically. Yeah.
And how have those experiences or other resources available at your university help you land your first job, or help you network and help you be successful?
Wow, didn't see that coming. Yeah, so I actually came to this networking event and I met a guy working at cash converters there. And we just kind of like, I asked him out for a coffee, having a chat. So after a while, he kind of knew my abilities and what I can offer to the company. And so I was recruited. Yeah, and that's how I got my first job. Other than that, I think like my university offer really good mental support. So it might get a bit personal, but last year my grandpa passed away and I was juggling like 2 jobs while studying full time. And like, because I live with my grandparents ever since I was like really small, like that truly devastated me, like both mentally and physically. I was really sad, and so I reached out to a UQ mental counselor, and yeah, she just was really helpful and helped me cope through all the grief. Yeah.
Well, thank you for sharing, you know, that aspect of your experience. I know
Yeah.